Guys, Chad Yesilova coming to you from Miami. Day 2 of 10X. Now, I'm really buying into the whole 10X brand because there is so much energy in there, and I wanted to, do this video like straight after this ended. It ended about 10 minutes ago. We're now outside. I just needed to I guess release some energy as well before I did this video as well, because I was absolutely pumped in there. These guys know how to put on an event. They're playing some really loud music as well, really uplifting music, but like the speakers that they had today, especially the last guy, I'm going to get into this, but he had me absolutely pumped. So I started the day off with day 2 of winning, and in fact I'm just going to explain it right now what I mean by buying into the whole brand. The hat. Don't be a bitch. I mean, I find myself occasionally using these words, but these guys have turned it into a fucking brand, and I absolutely love it. Like, here is what I mean by this shit. Look, cufflinks. You open this up, be great. Nothing else pays. I fucking love it. Absolutely love it. And, this is what this event is all about, and it's what I'm about as well, and I can really, really identify with everything that they've actually created here. It's fucking unbelievable. And I just think that, in the United States, they really know how to put entertainment on. Like, there's no dialing the volume down. It's fucking dial it up, 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 and just when you think it's at the fucking top, they dial it even more. Incredible. So, let's get straight into the speakers. The first person, Danielle Delgado, okay? So she was great. She's basically built a Rolodex of, some incredible, influential people such as Tim Grover, who was the last speaker. I mean, she's great. She's basically built a loyal following that added to her financial future as well. She's like a brave woman. She's basically survived cancer. She's had, some difficulties with her family as well. But like, you can just feel her energy on stage. She's really strong. She's committed. She knows exactly where she's headed. And I absolutely loved her as well. Her 4 simple steps to success were, number 1, building the right foundation. Nothing great is going to ever be built on a foundation that's weak. So she placed a lot of emphasis on building the right foundation. Number 2, market your value. Now, you can never out-earn your self-esteem. Your team predicts your future. But basically, from what she was actually discussing, and I absolutely love this about her as well, is that, the more confident you are, the more value you place out there, the more you can market the value, your own personal value, so you can charge a lot more, okay? Connecting. It's not about just taking. It's like, what Gary Vaynerchuk says as well, jab, 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 right hook. She plays a lot of emphasis on that. And then the 4th part is building a loyal tribe. Now, she was so good. She's got a product out there as well. Andrea, let's turn the page, because you were like, the first to actually say, let's buy it. I want to hear it from you.
Yeah, actually, I love what she was saying, and I bought her program, so I'm going to start doing it.
So what is her program? It's called the Elite Life Academy product.
Yes.
But what is she selling? What is this program about?
Basically, it's like she will teach you how to build your brand.
Yeah.
Own personal brand.
And, building a team of influential people around you as well.
Exactly.
Awesome. There you go. Andrea on the ball. Love her, and that's why she's my business partner. Now, the second speaker, Russell Brunson. Wow. Wow. Like, I mean, he's a funnel king, funnel hacking king, just an absolute all-round dynamite. I mean, I don't know, how else to describe this guy, but he was so full of energy, so full of knowledge bombs. He was speaking so fast. It was really hard trying to capture everything. So I was, recording at one stage, writing down notes with the other hand as well. But basically, this guy has built loyal raving fans. Like, he was appearing in my news feed. Even before I knew about him or his product, it was just appearing so much that I thought, shit, I actually just got to buy this product. I don't even know what the hell it does. And then every now and then, I started reading some of his articles as well, but I actually had to, stop myself from reading his articles because there's so much knowledge bombs in there. I find myself going from one article to the next, and he was no different on stage either. So he basically, hacked and said, okay, in 10 minutes, I can make sure that you get a funnel up that's going to be profitable for you as well. Now, I didn't actually write that many notes because it was just one knowledge bomb after another, but I was recording. And I got an interview with him as well, which I'll be sharing on this fan page, so tune in. But his product was an absolute no-brainer. One of the best pitches that I've ever seen, and like basically half the crowd just got up, started running to fill out like, you know, the order form and just hand this guy some money with a big smile. So, I mean, his pitch was perfect, and Grant Cardone pointed that out as well. So there was a lot to learn from it, and I'll give an analysis of that in my blog as well. So that's really cool. Third speaker, Les Brown, motivational speaker, former disc jockey. Now, to be honest, I hadn't really heard of him before. But the guy, again, like not only has he got a lot of energy, but emotionally he was able to really connect with the audience as well. Like there were so many moments where, like, you know, the audience actually got up, gave him a standing ovation, and like, you know, he cried on stage, and like, you know, I mean, there was so much emotion and passion in what he was actually saying as well. But, you know, true to his form, as a motivational speaker, he certainly inspired me as well. So some of the, you know, takings from that were, there's no success without successes, so make sure that you succeed first, so then other people around you can actually succeed as well. He trains people on how to present themselves. Now, this is like, you know, he's got a worldwide, you know, globally recognized brand, and I'd love to actually be part of that. I don't think it's right for me just yet, but I'm going to basically be following this guy on YouTube as well. He's got a book, 12 Laws of Success. I'm definitely going to, you know, download that. What else have we got? It's not where you start, it's where you're going. Changing lives, make changes in your community as well. So his philosophy around success is, if you are going to create the success, make sure that it's all about the community and the value that you're providing to your community as well. Transform your mindset and expand your skill set, and those are the elements to success. And something that really stood out for me as well, and I've always said this, but it was great hearing from the big man himself, the best revenge is massive success. Absolutely loved it. The fourth speaker, Roddy Chong. Wow. I mean, this guy is a violinist. He was a violinist for Shania Twain, Celine Dion. When I first read the profile, I thought, okay, these are artists that I don't really listen to. I mean, I love Celine Dion, Shania Twain, not as much. I think, you know, she had a great song many years back. However, like, I don't know, like the description didn't really speak to me that much. Like, it didn't really capture me. So I wasn't really that excited about it until Les Brown finished, and then this guy started, and it was just electric. This guy is incredible. He had so much energy, so much charisma. Like, he basically came on stage playing the violin, and, you know, it's a mix between like rock and I guess classic. I'm not really too familiar with the genre, but like, I mean, this guy turned me into a fan immediately. It didn't take any longer than 1 second to actually turn me into a fan. But not only that, his story was very inspirational as well. So, like, just, I loved hearing the story of how he actually got in touch with people like, you know, Shania Twain, Celine Dion. And again, it really came down to, and this is a common string that I saw among the speakers as well, but it was the mindset. He just had, and this is what stood out for me, a deep, convicted thought. He was standing there and he basically said, I need to go and move. And it didn't matter that he felt awkward. He just basically extended his hand, and he ended up speaking to Celine Dion's husband. I know that he's now passed away, but like, you know, this was a while back, and like, you know, so when he shook the hand, he did appear awkward, but that move was enough to actually get him many levels higher as well. So not only is he a violinist, but he's a great business speaker as well, like very motivational, someone that I'll be following. And I mean, I would highly recommend that you look him up on YouTube. I really hope there is actually a video up on YouTube. If not, there's about an 8-second snippet in my Twitter. The hang is @ChadCorp. So then the next speaker after that was Chelsea Cross. I think Andrea was connected a bit more with Chelsea Cross. She's a millennial marketer, 26 years old. And I thought, she was actually a great speaker. It was very impressive seeing someone so young get up on stage, having accomplished so much. She knew exactly what she was talking about. She gave us some insights into testimonials, into millennials as well. But, some of the things that she actually mentioned, which were common among other speakers as well, know what your customers value and deliver that. So it was around authenticity, transparency, having a social good component as well. Something with an experience, quality, customization, instant gratification. Look, I think, my target market is millennials as well, and it's a good thing that I'm actually onto the whole analytics and SEO and some of the things that she's actually mentioned as well. But hearing this and the fact that people are speaking about this reinforces how important it is to stay on top of the digital aspects, SEO, Facebook ads and so forth. Because although these things are actually changing, a lot of people are spending a lot of time on their mobile phones. They're changing their minds. We need to understand exactly how they actually work as well. So if you develop that lazy mindset, you're going to lose, you're going to fall behind. Whereas if you stay on top of this and you change your mindset to I'm actually happy to understand this. This is great. The end result, the outcome of understanding this technology is going to be very, very beneficial and fun, then you're going to stay ahead of your competitors. So that was, my takeaway from Chelsea Cross. Jamie Shanks, social selling. Look, my biggest takeaway from this, and he's got a book, and I wish I actually had a copy, but he was only giving away hard copies of his book as well. But 72% of social marketers perform better than those who do not implement social selling. Now, what is social selling? There's trigger-based selling, referral-based selling, insights marketing. Now, this was a little bit interesting. He was showing a lot about LinkedIn and how to actually get onto your competitors out there. Now, my biggest takeaway from this, okay, because it was a bit technical with LinkedIn, and that's why I actually wanted the book, was think outside the box. There's different ways to actually, get to customers, clients, but not only that, it wasn't actually mentioned in the talk, but recruitment, because at the end of the day, you're marketing your company and generating enough leads for people who show interest in the role in your company. So that could be very useful as well. I'll definitely be looking into that. It was the first time I had heard the term social selling, but it certainly won't be the last time I look into it. It sounded very interesting. Lewis Howes, wow. This guy's got a very different energy about him. I met him last night in the bar as well. Really, really cool guy. Very easy to get along with. And, he spoke about something that is an absolute king in, building a celebrity-based, celebrity personal brand. Now, in 2013, when he first started his podcast, he had 770,000 downloads. In 2014, it was 3 million downloads. 2015, 8 million. Following year, 15 million. 2017, 30 million plus. So that's 1.5 million downloads per month. Now, that's 19 times growth in 4 years. The biggest message from him is its consistency and constantly adding value. Now, he's always thinking about how he can stand out from the crowd as well. But what really struck me is, what I've actually written here as well. When he first started out, most people actually say, look, it's really hard, building a personal brand. People aren't listening to me. Bit like how I'm starting out right now. But the reason why this actually spoke to me is because I see a lot of people giving up, but you don't really hear about the first 100 customers that people get, or the first 10 customers that people get, or even the first 100 subscribers. Now, what he actually did was email people one by one on LinkedIn. He, did a search for people who he thought, would benefit from the interview that he recorded on his podcast, and he emailed people one by one on LinkedIn. So it's no surprise that he actually got 770,000 downloads in the first 12 months, which he now does in about 2 weeks. But, you know, 770,000 is really impressive. Okay, so that's something that I've really learned as well. Like, he, you know, kept saying consistent content and so forth, but like what really stood out for me is the hustle in the beginning as well. Okay, the last speaker, Tim Grover. So I just want to give a little bit of a background from this guy. He's, you know, like his brand is Attack Athletics. He's worked with people like Michael Jordan, really big name. Kobe Bryant, another huge name. Dwayne Wade, Hakeem Olajuwon. These are all basketball players, but like he's worked with other elite athletes as well. Now, I didn't really know anything about this guy, but how would I actually describe him? Like, he's kind of like your drill sergeant. You know, at one stage he basically said, if you see me at the bar, you don't refer to me as Tim or TG, it's Mr. Grove. And if you're wearing a hat, take it off. Make sure you are dressed appropriately. And I thought, whoa, okay, like this guy's got a real presence about him, energy. You know, like, I mean, he's 50 something, like early 50s, but like the energy that this guy exudes, like I just basically felt it, like, you know, just going through my body. And I thought, wow. And like in terms of the content, he said it's the mindset that separates the audience from those who actually succeed. Now in that audience, like it's 2,200 people that paid a minimum 1,500 US for the ticket there, and he said that a small percentage of these people are actually going to become successful. Now what separates those successful people from those who don't do anything? The mindset. Like, which, you know, I mean, he put it in very, very simple terms, but he basically said, if you combine the mindset and the skill set, you become unstoppable. He said, if you're staying the same, you're getting worse. Big difference between the asshole and a asshole. He said, I am the asshole. I do what I need to do so I can get the work done. He, you know, basically, I mean, for my personality, I get a lot of people actually saying, Chad, you're this, why don't you actually tone it down a little bit? You know, sometimes you can be a bit of an asshole in this area as well. Listening to this guy, he was just like, I felt like he was describing me in some areas, like, you know, really understood what's actually going on with me mentally in here, with me in my heart as well. So like, I've had arguments with Andrea about some of this stuff. Maybe let's just reverse it with Andrea. Like, how would you say, no, let's do it. How would you describe me at times? And also in terms of like, you know, maybe not celebrating enough, you know?
Yeah, I think it's like you have a very strong personality. And what he said was like, you need to be yourself. You don't need to change.
Yeah, exactly. Hearing that reinforced that I'm actually on the right track, and I absolutely loved it. Like this guy, I mean, he's basically got this book called Relentless, and there's 13 principles in there. Now, when he actually gave us the list, they were all number one, because he said if you're placing like, you know, number 1, 2, 3 next to it, people think, you know, it's an order of priority, and he said no, they're all number one. They're all very, very high priority. Now, he just, you know, basically categorized people into coolers, closers, cleaners. Cleaners are like, you know, the elite. They're the winners. You don't trust, like he said this about cleaners, you don't trust instincts, your instincts trust you. What else? Like, it's not about being a good person. These people don't go to work, they become the work. So they, like, each of these people have ego, secrets, desires. They acknowledge that, and because they acknowledge that, they're able to control it. And if you don't control it, it will destroy you. So they're very honest with themselves as well. Like, these cleaners aren't intimidated by pressure. They actually thrive on pressure. And he said that these people see pressure as privilege because it allows them to create great things. Like, another thing, you know, the ability to win, finding a competitor's weakness and attacking it. You know, he said that with so much, like, you know, confidence And like, when you look into the guy's eyes as he's basically saying that, it confirms, like if you've got a very aggressive spirit like mine, when he was saying this thing, it basically just really confirmed some of my beliefs about, you know, how I feel about the industry, how I feel about my competitors. And sometimes I say some rough things, like I'd like to gut them like a fish and take them out of business. And then I've got, you know, my business partner, other people around me saying, don't speak like that. Well, hearing this guy actually made me feel like that's okay. And I absolutely loved it. So I'll definitely be, like, I actually bought his book, you know, straight after that talk finished. He said, I don't pay you to, like, apparently this is what Michael Jordan said to him. I don't pay you to train me, I pay you to not train anybody else. Another key taking from him is implement. Now, my biggest takeaway from him, okay, is, look, actually it's something that I've written here. Don't reinvent yourself. Don't try to be something you're not. Reinvest in yourself. Be confident with exactly who you are and amplify your strengths. Control your ego. So then basically you're putting yourself on a platform only to grow, explode. Guys, it was an explosive day. Thank you so much. Stay tuned for day 3.